All right, so we're going to start in our chair. And we'll start with a little breathing. Let me make sure I have gallery view. Hold on, sorry. Okay. All right, so just find kind of a comfortable, come towards the edge of your chair and feet are on the ground, nice and grounded. And just sense your pelvis on the chair, maybe rock a little side to side just to bring some awareness downward onto those. And you might notice there's this bony landmark, the sits bones. You may be rocking forward and back on. And then find neutral. Just feel somewhere in the middle where both sits bones are anchored. And close your eyes. Let's just take the shoulders up towards our ears, back towards the spine, and then down. And do that again. So shoulders come forward, they come up, they go back and down. And one more time, shoulders come forward, up, back. And when they come down and back this time, just leave them there. So you have an open chest. And bring one hand onto your low belly and one hand onto your chest. And we're going to do a little breathing to start our practice today. And so you're going to take an inhale into the low belly first. Allow that inhale to rise through the body up to that upper chest. And then you'll take a long exhale. Let's just exhale out the mouth. Notice how the chest will sink and the belly will draw back, exhaling as much as you can to where you feel the belly pull back. And then we repeat, inhale to the low belly. Let that breath rise up all the way to the chest. You feel it rise into your hand. And then open mouth, exhale. Exhaling until you feel that belly draw back towards your spine. And we'll do one more. We inhale belly. Let it rise all the way up to your chest. And then open mouth, exhale. Chest softens, belly draws back. Great. And then just let that go. Let's take our hands, our fingertips. Welcome those who just joined. Hi, Joanne. Carrie. And we're going to tapping the face. So starting a little bit, starting to wake up our face, facial muscles, tapping all along the bones of the face, the jawline, the cheekbones, the temples, and the forehead. Starting again, we're waking up our face, getting awareness through sensory. So we'll do a little sensory warm up through touch, bringing awareness to our bodies through touch. And then let's go over the head. So tapping over the head all the way to the base of the skull. And we'll do that a few times, tapping over the head into the skull, making sure we keep our breathing. And the next time we tap over to the base of the skull, let's stay at the base of the skull. You'll feel these two little bony landmarks here, and that's the occiput. And let's do little circles here at the base of the skull. So just little circles, trying to release a little tension, possibly in the neck and the head. And then go ahead and circle the other way. Good. And then let's go ahead and tap the chest, up and down the chest. To the center of the chest, which is your sternum. You're tapping down to the belly button and up to underneath those collarbones, getting some vibration in the center of the body. Awareness to the center of the body. And then take one hand, you'll be opposite me. We're going to do circles around your heart, some circles around your heart. I'm kind of vigorous. I'm moving a little brisk here. We're going to take this, we're going to briskly brush down the arm, brush down to the fingertips, from the heart to the fingertips. And we're moving a little brisk. And then we're going to turn the palm and let's brush up the arm. Yeah, good. Again, bringing awareness through touch 2 more times. And then we'll go the other side, brush down the arm. See if you can move a little bit all the way to those fingertips. And then let's turn the hand up, brush up. Great. Awesome. And then let's go to stomach and diaphragm and go little circles here. and then go a little bit lower, right up below that belly button. Do some circles there. Some deep breaths. Good, and then just a little shaking of the arms and the hands, any energy that we gathered there. Perfect. And then from here, let your arms just dangle by your sides, and we're gonna move our head. I'm gonna go sideways so you can see my head. So I'm gonna keep my spine nice and long. I'm just gonna slide my head forward, and then I'm gonna slide my chin down, and then I'm gonna slide the base of the head back up to neutral. And so we slide out. We slide chin down towards the chest. We slide the base of the head back up, and we're back to neutral. Beautiful. Slide the face forward like you're a turtle coming out of a shell. Slide the chin down, see your chest. Slide the back of the head back up. Awesome. One more time. Slide the face forward. Slide the chin down, and slide back up. Awesome. Okay, nice and tall. We're going to turn the head to the right. And then you're going to turn your head to the left. Nice and easy. So don't over push. Just let the head glide one direction and the head glide the other. And I'd like for you to use your eyes as you do that. So when I turn, I want to look and see. And then when I turn, I want to look and see what's over there. One more each side. If you get dizzy, you can always pause because we're moving the vestibular system. Sometimes this can make us dizzy. And then you're going to come back to center. And now we're going to go up and down with the head. And again, if there's any dizziness, you just pause because we're actually activating our inner ears. And so we're going to take and warming up our neck at the same time. So we'll take the face to the ceiling, look up. And then just like we did before, we're going to take the face, look down, chin down, and look up this time. Use your eyes and then look down. Two more. Look up, look down. And then come center, neutral. Good. Okay, how do we feel? Did we get a little dizzy? Are we okay? Okay. Okay, good. All right, let's go shoulders slide all the way up. Let's slide our shoulders up to our ears. We're going to hold them here for a moment. This is going to become the inhale. And then we're going to let them drop. Inhale, slide up. Exhale. Yes, inhale, slide up. Exhale. Last one. Inhale, slide. Exhale. And now shoulder blades are going to slide together on your back. So I'm squeezing my shoulder blades together. What that's going to create is an open chest. And my shoulder blades are going to draw together on my back. And I want to feel the mid-back kind of work. And then I just relax. So I'm going to draw shoulder blades together on my back. The upper shoulder blades, and then I release the scapula. And draw your shoulder heads back, the shoulder blades squeeze in towards your spine. Maybe you feel a little activity there. You always feel a chest stretch, and then relax. Last one, draw the shoulder blades together. This time, let's hold the shoulder blades back there. Can we externally rotate your arms so your palms will face me? And then we're gonna reach the arms up all the way to the sky. Notice how the shoulder blades are going to change position. Reach up. Can I get my ribs to lift away from my pelvis? And then on the exhale, we're going to let our arms drop. Yeah, we'll do that 2 more times. So draw the shoulder blades onto your back. Let that externally rotate your arms. And so my arms are reaching, they're lifting from the back, lifting from my wings. They come all the way up. That's going to shift here. We reach up like we could lengthen our waistlines. Can I get long through my waist? Take a big inhale. Exhale, we drop. Good, beautiful. Last time, your arms are gonna get a little tired, probably. Slide shoulder blades together. Just keep them there as we start this lift. Start to externally rotate those arms and lift up. Any amount, if you need to keep a little bit of a wider V, because the tight shoulders, that's fine. Reach up as any amount that you can, thinking about, could I lengthen my waistline? And then we exhale, let it go. Awesome. Woo, okay, good. Let's take the right arm, lift it up and say, pick me, I have the answer, reach up. So we're gonna keep reaching up, so there's an elevation of my shoulder, and then I'm gonna side bend a little bit. I'm gonna reach over to the other side. My other arm slides down towards the floor. And then we're going to come back up. And then the arm comes down. Beautiful. Let's bend the other elbow. Reach up. Elevation. Stretch up. We side bend. Your other hand's going to slide. Right hand slides down. Left arm reaches over. Any amount that feels good in this moment. And then we come back up. And the arm comes down. One more each way like that. So stretch up. Elevation. Pick me. Easy side bend. We're going to reach your left fingers to the floor as your right arm reaches over. Feeling a stretch, hopefully through the side of your body. And then we come back up. And the arm comes down. Gorgeous. Other side. Last time. Reach up. Elevation. Get that armpit up. And then we reach the right hand fingers to the floor a little bit. So we have some work over here, some stretch over here. And then I come back up. And I come down. Awesome. I'm going to go to the side. We're going to do a little bit of a spinal roll seated, making our way to standing pretty soon. So my hands are going to be on the front of my thighs. I'm going to be nice and tall, that nice neutral length. And I'm going to start with my head. So I'm going to go chin tuck. And then I'm going to start to round over my sternum and roll through my spine forward. Take your time. Over my legs. I'm going to pour myself over my legs until I'm hanging over the legs. Head is dropped, shoulders are rounded, spine is stretched open. Take an inhale here. Now from the belly, that exhale we learned when we first started breathing today, the exhale happens in the belly and that's going to pull us up. So the belly pulls back towards the spine and we start to roll back up, stacking our spines on top of our pelvis, then ribs, then shoulders, then head. I'm going to watch. So inhale, nice and tall. Exhale, we go chin tuck. We start to round forward, curling over the legs. Use your eyes, see yourself rolling down, see your legs, see the floor, see the chair, hanging over. Any amount so we get that stretch in the back. Take an inhale here. And from the belly draws up and in. Then we pull ourselves back up, stacking the spine. Nice and tall. Good, we have one more. Inhale, I'm gonna watch this time. Exhale, chin to chest. Chin tuck. And then rounding, rolling over your sternum, through the back. Look and use your eyes. Your hands will slide forward over the shins. Yes, beautiful. Letting the backs open. Take a big breath into the back of your ribs. Big inhale. And then on the exhale, the belly draws up and back to stack you up nice and tall. Beautiful. Awesome. Okay, we're going to do a little bit of our standing up from the chair. So I'm going to move back a little bit so you can see. And so I'm just on the edge of my chair, and my feet, you'll play with the position of your feet as you need to, right? So right now, we're going to have the feet under, let's think under the knees maybe, okay? And then I'm going to take my arms, and I'm going to reach forward. I'm going to hinge a little bit forward. And then I'm going to press up to stand up all the way tall. My arms will just come back. And I want to squeeze my shoulder blades on my back like we did a moment ago. And then I'm going to come down. I'm going to reach my arms forward, sit back onto the edge of that chair, and I'm back to seated. Good. Okay, forward we shift, we reach, we stand up, find your shoulder blades squeezing on the back. And then we sit back down. And shift onto the pelvis. I do want the shift. I'm going to hinge and I'm going to stand. Oops, sorry. I reversed my arms. Good. And then you're squeezing those shoulder blades. And then I'm going to sit back down, controlling the way down. Down we go. Yes, a couple more. Let me see. So standing up, pushing down into the floor. Stand up tall, squeeze those shoulder blades, wide chest when you come to the top. And then reach arms forward as you sit back towards the chair. Hopefully, yes, good. And we'll try to go slow on the descent. And one more time, go ahead and stand up. Reaching forward, standing tall on both feet. Feel your shoulder blades squeeze on your back. And then down you go. Great. And now we're going to do one more thing here. I want to actually open up our feet a little bit before we do some standing. So take your, let's do left foot. Can we bring that left foot, cross it over our leg a little bit? And I'm just going to have you kind of give yourself with your hands just a little massage. It's in the bottom of the feet. So I'm just taking my palms of my hands and I'm just kind of spreading and massaging the foot a little bit just to warm it up. Your feet are cold like mine, this will feel kind of good. And then I want to have you grab your big toe. So take one hand, grab your big toe and just pull the big toe out a little bit. And then the second toe, pull out. Third toe, pull away. Fourth toe, pull. Fifth toe, pull. And then we're going to just slap the bottom of our foot up and down. Again, bringing some awareness to the bottom of our foot. Just going to tap and slap up and down the foot. Let's do one more time. And then I want you to grab your heel and see if you can kind of shake your foot from your heel. I'm just going to kind of shake my foot, get a little mobility in my foot. Okay, great. And then place that foot down. Bring your other foot. We're going to do just the quick version of our feet warm up today. So crossing the other side, and then just take the palms of your hands, and we're just getting into that foot. I'm just massaging. I'm spreading. I'm getting some awareness through. You can kind of pull, you can kind of squeeze your foot a little bit too. You can get in there. Our feet are super strong. Okay. And then grab your big toe and pull it forward. Grab and pull. And then your second toe, grab the toe and pull. Third toe, grab, pull it forward. Fifth toe, fourth. And then your fifth toe, pull forward. And then let's slap the bottom of our foot up and down. Let's do one more time. And then grab your heel and can you shake your foot a little bit. You create a little looseness. One side might be quite different than the other, right? Shake that foot from the heel and then bring that foot down. Perfect. Now we're going to come up to standing. Okay, make sure to have the chair nearby just so you have something to hold on to if we need. We're going to do a little hip flexor stretch because then we're going to do some core work on the ground. I'm going to open these hip flexors first. So it's going to be a small lunge. I'm going to go from the side first so you can see. I'm going to take my right foot, I'm going to step it back, and I'm going to bend my left knee. So from the side, it looks like this. It's not a huge step. From the front, it looks like this. So my front knee is bent, my back leg is back, and the toes are slightly turned in. Yep, good. Okay, you can hold on if you need to, but the first thing we want to do, we have the position. Now I want to take the pelvis, I want to draw the front of my pelvis up and the hips forward. So let's let the pelvis go, kind of let yourself tip forward a little bit from your pelvis, and then I want your pelvis to curl under you and the hip to come forward. And what we should maybe already feel a little bit is a stretch here, okay? So keep one hand on your chair, take your right hand up to the sky. So with that same stretch we did a moment ago. And then I'm going to keep my pelvis curled under and pressing forward. So we want to feel a little bit of a stretch in this back hip, okay? Now I'm going to do slightly a side bend away. Should increase that stretch. And then I come back up and I lower my arm down. So let me see the pelvis curl under you and that hip come forward. Yes, and then the right arm reaches up and we take a little side bend. Yeah, good. Come back up and down. Are we feeling this stretch in our hip a little bit? Must be good. Good, one more time. Make sure that front knee is bent. Pelvis, front of the pelvis lifts up the front. So I want to curl my pelvis under me. And then I'm going to take my right arm up, reach up, get that elevation of that shoulder, and then we side bend. Woo! Especially if you've been sitting, this is a good stretch for us. And then come back up and lower down. All right, good. Let's go ahead and take our chair to the other side, or just walk around to the other side so we can do the other side. Okay, good. So I'm gonna go from the side. So now my left leg is gonna go back. My toes are gonna turn in, okay? They wanna have a little bit of internal rotation. Here's from the front. It's a small lunge position. First thing I wanna do is my pelvis is gonna curl under me, okay? And then release it a little bit. And then you're gonna have the pelvis curl under. So tailbone lengthens down, pubic bone lifts up, and that's gonna allow this hip to open up in the front, okay? Front knee is bent. Take that left arm up to the sky, stretch up, and then we side bend just a little bit away from the leg, opening this hip up even more. And then we come back up and lower down. First things first, curl tailbone under, open up that hip, left arm goes back up, stretch up. Big inhale, exhale, we side bend. Reach away. Coming up and down. Last time. Pelvis curls under, reach the arm up to the sky, stretch up, and we exhale, we side bend. Yes. Come back up and lower down. Good, and rest. All right, good work. Let's go ahead. I'm gonna put my chair to the side. We're gonna go to the mat for a little mat work here. I want you to have some kind of cushioning, so maybe a pillow or a blanket just nearby in case we need it, okay? Okay, good. I'm gonna take your time coming down to the mat. Then once we get to the mat, we're gonna lay onto our backs. So make your way onto your back, hug the knees into your chest. So I'm gonna grab onto my knees, and I'm just giving myself a little hug, hugging those knees. And I want you to sense your back on the floor. Feel how the low back is flush to the floor. And then just a little rock side to side. And some of us are still getting our stuff together, so no worries. We'll be down, we'll be here. Take your time. Just rock a little side to side. If you're on the floor already, just massaging that low back. Yeah, beautiful. And if you need any support for your head, you might want to grab a little, you can use your pillow or your blanket under your head. And then just come to neutral. You're going to hug the right leg into your chest. So both hands either on the right shin or behind your thigh. Do which one feels comfortable. And then your left leg is going to slide long along the floor away from you. And we're taking another little stretch for the hips. So the left leg is long on the floor and the right leg is pulling into our chest. And just take a breath here. 1 or 2 breaths, see what you feel. Maybe a little stretch in your hip, maybe a stretch a little bit in your back. And then let's just switch sides. So bring the left leg in, hug it in, and then the right leg slides long away from you. And either you're holding on to your shin or behind your thigh. And then you just take a few breaths here. And then you're going to bring both legs to tabletop. And then just place the right foot on the floor and the left foot on the floor. Okay, and then your arms are going to be by your sides. And we're going to first move our pelvis a little forward and back. And then we're going to get into some low abdominal work. And so your spine is nice and long here. And I want you to think of curling the tailbone under you. So that what happens when we do that is the back, the low back goes flush to the floor. And then you're going to tip your tailbone down towards the floor. And what that creates is a little arc in your spine. So we curl the pelvis under, the back goes flush. We tip the tailbone down and the back comes away from the floor. And do a few more, drawing the pelvis under you, sits bones curl under, back is flush, and then we take the tailbone the other way, and the back will arch a little bit, or a lot. You get to play with how much you want to move here. And let's do one more, pelvis under, and then pelvis tips away. And then I want you to find that place that's in between those two positions. So we're not in our arch, nor are we flat to the floor. We're in what's called a little neutral spine. And then you're going to try to keep, let's place our hands on the front of your hips. Everybody place your hands on the front of your hips. And you want to keep your hips and your pelvis still. But we're going to let our right leg open out to the side. And we're not going to let our pelvis go with us. And then we're going to pull the right leg back to center. And we're just going to do 4. So the right leg opens out, inhale. Exhale, the right leg comes back in, you stand on top of your foot. And so inhale, right leg opens, you're rolling over the side of your foot. You exhale, you come back, come to the top of the foot. Last time, inhale, the leg opens. Exhale, we come back. Good, right leg stays where it is. Left leg's gonna open out to the side. And then it comes back to center. And left leg opens. And then comes back. And meanwhile, the whole time, the pelvis stays very still. Inhale, the leg opens. Exhale, the leg comes back. We have one more. Inhale, let the leg roll open. And exhale, it comes back. Now stay centered. Keep your hands on your pelvis. We're going to inhale. The right leg comes up to tabletop. And then deepen your belly to your spine. Exhale, the other leg comes up to tabletop. Good. And then let's go inhale, one leg down. And then exhale, other leg down. And we'll just alternate like this. Pelvis stays still, just the legs. Inhale, one leg lifts up. Exhale, other leg lifts up. Deep exhale, belly to spine. Inhale, one leg down. Exhale, other leg down. Inhale, one leg up, you choose. Exhale, belly to spine, other leg up. Inhale, one leg down. Exhale, other leg down. Last one, we inhale, pelvis is heavy into the ground, one leg up, exhale, deepen the belly, other leg up. And then one leg down, another leg down. Keep the legs down, reach your arms to the sky. So palms face in, reach the fingers to the sky. See if you can reach up, touch the ceiling with your fingertips, and then reach the arms behind you, stretch back. Reach to the back of the room. Inhale, bring the arms back over the shoulders. Reach up to the sky, and then exhale, reach back behind you, stretching behind you. Inhale, come back to center. Reach up to the sky with your fingertips, and then reach back behind you, stretch. And then bring the arms back over the shoulders. You're going to interlace your hands, place the hands behind the head. So hands are interlacing, they become a little hammock for your head. Elbows lift up, off away from the mat. They're going to be about 45 degrees. Shoulders are sliding down on your ribs. Take an inhale. On your exhale, lift head and shoulders away from the ground. Lifting up, look towards your knees or your belly button. And then inhale, let's roll the spine back down. Exhale, lift, head and shoulders lift up. Use your belly to lift you up. Use that deep exhale to lift up. And then rolling back down, inhale. Exhaling to come up, lift up, 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 up. Look towards your belly. And lower down. You're going to do 2 more. Lifting up. Up, 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 up. And then lowering down. One more time, floating up. This time you're going to stay in your head float. So here we are, we're up in our head floats. Hands are supporting the head. And then let's make sure here, draw the pelvis under you so that the back is now flush to the mat. Notice if that changes the abdominals. Bring one leg up, tabletop. Bring the other leg up, tabletop. Take one leg down and other leg down. Let's keep your head float. 2 more like that. Bring one leg up. Exhale, other leg up. Keep your back into the mat now. Take one leg down and other leg down. Last time, bring one leg up, bring the other leg up. Take one leg down and the other leg down, and then float the head down. Good. Bring your arms down by your sides. You're going to turn your palms to face inward so your thumbs face up to the sky. So it's like a thumbs up. Yep. And then the back of the shoulders are pressing down into the mat. We're going to do a bridge. So you're going to find your feet. Push your feet down and lift your hips up to the sky. So arms get to help. Feet are pushing. Make sure we feel, we're going to eventually, hopefully get into the hamstrings and low glutes to help to, we're going to activate to bring your pelvis up. And then pause here, take a breath, and then can we lengthen our sits bones towards our heels and lower one long line all the way back down onto the floor. When you arrive, take an inhale, find your feet, find your arms, exhale, push the pelvis up, lift your hips to the sky, lift your pubic bone to the sky. Take an inhale here, and exhale, one long line, lowering back down. Got two more. Inhale, exhale, arms, feet, press down for you to rise up. Inhale, exhale, lengthen to lower down. Beautiful work. One more time. Inhale. Exhale, press your feet down, press the arms down, lift the pelvis up, find your bridge. Let's hold. We're going to hold a little isometric work, some strength work. We're going to hold for 10 counts. We're going to hold 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Feel your big toes, feel your heels. 3, 2. Reach your thigh bones long away from you. 1. And then lengthen the spine all the way down, down you go. Beautiful. All right, feet wider. Make your feet as wide as your mats. Arms move to a T position, so arms out to your sides. If you don't have room, you can bend your elbows a little bit. And then from here, let the legs sway to the right. So the legs are going to fall to your right. And then allow that left hip to push or move, continue to reach that left hip towards the right side. So you're going to get a stretch in the front of your hip here and maybe the thigh. Take a breath. You're going to roll the legs back through center and take them all the way over to the other side. And now your right hip is going to go a little further. Keep moving that right hip towards the left. And then roll back through center, inhale. We'll do one more each side. Exhale, take the legs over to the right. That left hip keeps moving towards the right, opening up that front of that hip. Getting a little twist in the body. And then we roll the legs back through center. Last time to the left. Take the legs towards your left. That right hip keeps moving towards that left side. And then we roll back to center. Good. And then take the feet, take the legs, bring them into your body. Give a little hug. So another little hug, a little rock. We're going to do one more here for the abdominals. So we're hugging the legs in. And notice how the legs are just in towards the body. So we're going to keep the legs in towards the body. Reach your arms long by your sides. Take an inhale. On your exhale, chin to chest, reach for your feet with your fingers and bring your shoulders and head up off the ground. And you're in a little curl here, little lift. Head lifts, shoulders lift. Can you take your legs, reach them up to the sky, any amount that feels like you get a little stretch, and then bend them back down. One more time or two more times, reach. You can always have a hand behind the head if you need support for your neck. Reach the legs, bring them back, reach to those fingers. One more time, stretch legs up. And bring them back, and then roll back down onto the mat. And roll the head a little side to side. Just in case we got our neck a little bit involved, which we did. And then come back to neutral, take one leg down, other leg down onto the floor, and we're gonna roll onto our right side. So we're gonna come to the right sides of our body for a little hip work on the side. So a couple options here. You can take your pillows or your blankets and you could have them underneath the head. You could also have your arm under the head. So I'll just demonstrate here with the blanket. It's nice for the neck to have a little support. Feels good, but don't go to sleep. Now it's nap time. Not quite yet. Okay, so we're gonna be in this clamshell position to start. So that means my legs are stacked, heels are back. Let's take that top hand on the floor in front of us and just kind of press the hand into the floor. And notice if I do that, the waistline lifts a little bit. So I'm pressing my hand down, lifting the waistline up. See if you can find that. So my shoulders are stacked and my hips are stacked. So make sure you're open through the chest here. And then from here, your top leg is just gonna reach long. So it stretches away from you. And just hold that position. So as I hold this position, I'm gonna start to already feel, okay, the leg's working a little bit. And now what I wanna do is I wanna roll my leg external rotation. So my leg is gonna roll up and then I'm gonna roll my toes down. I'm gonna roll my toes up and I'm gonna roll my toes down and roll the toes up and roll the toes down, getting some hip mobility. We're gonna externally rotate a little bit, and then we internally rotate. 2 more times, we externally rotate, and we internally rotate. 1 more time, roll that thigh forward, roll the thigh down, and then find parallel, reach through your leg, lower it down to the ground, so the inseam of my foot touches, and then I'm gonna lift the leg back up. So I lengthen, I lower the foot down, flex your feet for now, and then lift back up. And then I'll lengthen to lower, and lengthen to lift. And lengthen to lower, and lengthen to lift. Hopefully feeling some work in the hip. And lift, and lower. Try to control the way up and the way down. 1 more time, we go up and we go down. Leave the leg down. Take your top arm, reach it overhead, stretch it overhead. Maybe I can sneak my other arm and I can grab onto my hand and I can get a little stretch here. Good, all right. Now bring that arm down. Bend the legs again. Both legs are bent. We're going to do 1 more exercise here for the left hip. So pick your hand onto your hip here, and you give yourself a little push down. So as I push down, again, I get that sense of lift of the side body and length of the top. And then I'm going to relax back down, let the hip come up. So I'm going to reach the hip away. I'm using my hand to kind of push that hip down, and then I let the hip come back up. And again, reach the hip down, use your arm to help your hand, get that stretch there, and then back. 1 more time, push the hip down and away, keep it there, and then you're gonna take your leg, it's gonna stay flexed. So I'm just gonna take my thigh behind me. And all I'm gonna do is keep this leg back there. I'm pushing back as if there was a wall back there, and I'm just gonna push the wall away. If I take my top hand and I place my hand on the back of my thigh here, low glute, I want to feel this activity. I want to feel some action in the muscles of the back of my thigh. Okay, hamstring gluteal fold. And then I'm going to bring my leg back to center. Take your hand, let's press ourselves up. And then we'll swivel around to the other side. Bring your pillows with you if you're using one. Okay. And we stack ourselves up. So we want to have shoulders are stacked and my hips are stacked. We're going to lift that waistline up off the ground, right? So there's some space and there's some core activity. And then I'm going to stretch my top leg long. So reach the top leg out and away from you. Let's flex the foot. And then my leg is hip level. So it's not too high, but it's right in the level of my hip, okay? And then I'm going to roll my thigh bone. My inner thigh is going to roll up, so my toes roll up. And I'm going to roll my outer thigh down, or my toes roll down. So we're going to go external rotation, but I want you to move from your thigh. And then we're going to go internal rotation. I'm going to roll my toes up, and I'm going to roll my toes down from the thigh bone. Roll up and roll down. Breathing as you roll and move through your hip and roll down. One direction might be quite more challenging than the other. Rolling down and rolling up. Now go to parallel. So my toes are just facing forward, and I'm going to lower my leg to the ground so the inseam of my foot touches the floor, and then I'm going to lift back up. Lower down and float back up. And lower. Take your time and lift. And lower and lift. Good. 3 more. We lower. Woo, hopefully feeling that hip work and lift. We lower. We lift. Last one. Lower down and lift up. Stay here for a moment. Just feel it. And then bend the knee. Place it back on top of your other leg. Hand on top of your hip and lengthen that hip away. And then bring it up. So you're going to lengthen. Use your top hand to just kind of press so I can push my hip away, getting a little longer. And then I let the hip come back up. And I push the hip away. One side might be quite different than the other. And then I let the hip come back up. Next time, let your hip go long so the waistline is nice and long. And then on my top leg, it's just going to stay bent, and it's going to press behind me. My hip goes forward, my leg goes back. And if I take my hand from the back of my thigh here and my glute, I want to feel some activity back here. I'm just pushing my leg back behind. Yeah. And take a breath or two here. I want you to feel the muscle at the back of the leg work. And then I come back, lower the leg down. Woo. Okay, we're gonna go to your bellies. Almost there, so we're gonna lay onto your bellies. You can keep a little blanket for your forehead if you'd like to go under your forehead, just so you're not completely squished against the floor. And arms are gonna be out to a T position. And you'll lift, once you get to the belly, I'll wait for you a little bit here. You'll lift one leg and then the other to create some space in the front of the hips. So reaching one and then the other. And then what I want to feel here is that the front of my pelvis presses down into the floor and my belly lifts up a little bit. And then I'm going to lift my head off the pillow or off my blanket. And then I'm going to lift my arms up. I'm just going to pause. I'm like flying through the air. My legs are still down. It's just my upper body. Can I draw my shoulder blades into my spine a little bit? And then I'm going to lower back down. So we go, pelvis goes into the floor. The belly lifts a little bit. Lift your head, lift your arms, and breathe. Find 2 breaths. And then down you go. Last one, we'll add the legs. So we go head lifts, arms lift, legs lift. Reach through your toes. It does not have to be a high lift. You want to create space in the back. We're reaching long. We're reaching out of the body. Try one more breath. This is hard work. And then down we go. Bring the hands by your ribs. And let's just press ourselves up to an all 4 position. Pressing up to hands and knees, okay? And then give me a round back, rounding the back. Press your shins down, drop your head to feel the ribs lift up to the sky. And then give me a long arc of the back. So tailbone lifts up, heart goes forward, and our belly drops a little bit to the ground, creating a stretch through the front body. And exhale, let's round. Drop the head, look at your belly. Inhale, we go the other way. Tailbone lifts, heart lifts forward. Last time, exhale, round. Inhale, into your arch. And then let's slide back, pelvis back towards your hips. Knees can be wide, and find a little child's pose. Your hips can be high, is fine. You can lower your head down to the mat, follow the hands forward, and just take a breath or two in a little child's pose. And again, hips can be high, arms can be slightly bent. Make it comfortable. Foreheads can rest on the ground. One more breath. And then let's slowly roll ourselves up. Good. Yep. Roll yourselves up. Find just a comfortable seat. So maybe come off the heels. Just a little, I'm going to go crisscross, but do a seat that's comfortable for you. We'll just finish off with how we started with our breath. And if it's easier, if you don't want to be on the ground and you want to sit on a chair, you can. We're just going to do it 3 breaths. So it's going to be brief, but we want to feel comfortable however we're sitting, okay? And so one hand on the low belly, one hand on the chest. And you're going to try to breathe into your belly first and let that breath come all the way up into your hands. And then we'll exhale out all the breath. Okay, so let's inhale, belly to chest. Exhale out the mouth. All the breath out. Exhale, 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 exhale until you feel that belly draw back. Inhale, low belly, all the way up to your chest. Keep inhaling, keep inhaling. Exhale. Last one, inhale. Low belly all the way up to your chest. Biggest inhale yet. Exhale. And then just let your breath come back to normal. And we are done. Thank you. Thanks for coming, showing up. Good work. Let me just pause the recording.